As a kid, growing up between Kansas and Missouri, baseball and actually riding BMX were two of my favorite things that I ever did. But I will tell you what, there was never a giant lake like Lake Tapps in the background of my baseball field. And if you go over to the high school where my daughters go to school, there's this stunning view from the baseball field of Mount Rainier and the Cascade Mountains. So moving to a town like Bonney Lake has been pretty amazing. I feel like my family's got an elevated version of what I grew up with. I definitely spend a lot of time in these videos telling you about the pros and cons, or showing you some different neighborhoods in each individual subdivision of the greater Tacoma area. But today's gonna be a little bit different. In today's video, I'm gonna tell you why I love living right here in Bonney Lake. That's right, just my opinion. No facts, no stats, just some guy that packed up his family from the Midwest and moved out to the PNW. So if that's what you're looking for, stick around. We're getting after it right now. Hey, Chris, myself, and our team are helping people relocate to the PNW every day. And we absolutely love it. So whether you're looking to make your move out here in the next 3 days or even the next 3 months, shoot us a phone call, text, or an email so we can help you make that smooth move right here to Washington State. And if you want to know everything going on in my hometown of Bonney Lake, hit that subscribe button. One of the reasons why I really love living in Bonney Lake is I love having access to Lake Tapps. This lake is a man-made lake. It's glacier fed, so it's pretty damn cold, but it's a fantastic place to hang out. You can paddleboard, you can swim, you can jet ski, boat, and everything. And then you have these great little swimming areas. Like right here, you can see it's kind of cordoned off for kids and families to come in the summer and swim. And of course, on the other side of the lake, you also have Lake Tapps Park, which is a little paid park. So, you know, when I'm feeling more of a quiet afternoon at the lake, that's definitely where I would go. Tapps Island here on Lake Tapps is also a really cool place. There's a fantastic restaurant there that Chris and I have taken the wives to several times, nice and quiet. There's also a great park out in that way, and you have golf right here by the water. So overall, just having access to lake life, and honestly at a price point that's not that crazy, is such a blessing. I can't imagine ever living within a few minutes of a lake for under $1 million, honestly, even in Missouri anymore. So being right here by Lake Tapps is super nice. The other reason why we really have loved living in Bonney Lake is we've been able to build so easily a really great community around us. All I ever heard about moving out this area was about the Seattle freeze, about how people were rude, they didn't want to talk to you, they didn't want to be your friend, they didn't want to connect. And that kind of got into my head, to be honest with you. But once we got over that and we started trying to invest into our community, like this big building right here, it's actually our church, Motion Church. It's been amazing for our family. We've met so many incredible people that are very down to earth. Definitely gives me a pretty similar feel to how the Midwest was. We've been able to join small groups, make really good friends, and really garnish some amazing business relationships as well, just here at church. And then on top of that, because of the down-to-earth nature of people who live in this community, places like the Chamber of Commerce have been a really great way to connect with people. There's a lot of really cool networking groups. Obviously, our kids are involved in sports. So I love Bonney Lake because it's been completely immune to the Seattle freeze. For our family, we've been able to really kind of find like-minded people. We've been able to connect with them, build relationships. And let me tell you, moving across the country can be a really, really lonely experience. The first 6 months out here were really rough for me, and that's because all I was doing was working. I spent no time trying to connect with other people. So you definitely don't want to do that. That's why you got to reach out to us. We understand this experience. We're committed to it. We're committed to helping you. So shoot us a phone call, text, or an email if you're looking to make that move. But again, man, the people here are just so fantastic. Another thing that I really love about living in Bonney Lake is just, man, I mean, the outdoors here. They're just incredible. From parks with giant trees like this, to the Fennel Creek trailhead, to spending time on Lake Tapps, whether that's, boating, swimming. Honestly, sometimes just looking at the water and looking at the mountain, walking around the lake, or walking the 40 miles of trails into Holly. Oh, and I almost forgot, Mount Rainier National Park's like a 45-minute drive. But no matter what you're into, as far as nature goes, Bonney Lake has it. That's what's so incredible. You got mountains, you've got rivers, you've got lakes. We even have a pretty decent waterfall. It's a little hard to get to, but we've got it. No matter how you like to enjoy time in the outdoors, not only do you have accessibility to pretty much every type of activity, but also one of the most beautiful settings in the entire country. I mean, we're moving into spring right now in the PNW, and I've never seen anything more beautiful than the spring and the summers here. So getting outside is one of the biggest things that I love about being here. In fact, my wife and I actually do about a 45-minute walk every single night. I'm not completely insane. Right now we're doing 75 hard, so it's not usually every single night, but the past few months, it's been every single night. So if you like the outside, this is the spot. Lastly, for me, it's gotta be the location of where Bonney Lake is. We are really conveniently positioned about 30 minutes away from Tacoma, and about an hour away from Seattle, and just about a 45-minute drive to the SeaTac airport. But what makes it really nice is that we're also 30 minutes away from all of the problems of Tacoma, or an hour away from all of the problems of Seattle. Being tucked away here in Pierce County gives us a unique advantage for our family, which is, as a real estate broker, I do spend most of my time in the cities, working real estate in the cities. But then when I come home, I come out to this type of environment where there are just people walking the streets, where families are out. It's relatively quiet. You don't have that unsafe feeling. You feel very at home. Again, it just kind of relates to me coming from the Midwest and sort of the same sensation of safety that I had when I lived there. So that would be another thing that I really love about living in Bonney Lake. All right, from my street to yours, those are some of the reasons why, out of all the places out here, we chose Bonney Lake over places like Seattle and Tacoma proper. Now, moving from one place to another is not an easy decision. Finding which small suburb can be a pain in the butt, but I want you to know that we can make life easier. Set up a Zoom call with us. Let us help you figure out what your vibe is. Again, we're in here with you. It's like bacon and eggs, right? The chicken had to be involved into laying the egg, but the pig had to die for you to have the bacon. He was fully committed. So we are your real estate pig. So shoot us a phone call, text, or an email, and we'll help you make that smooth move out here to Washington State.